The mindset I'm speaking of, which is to have at heart the well-being of others and therefore providing a service to help them, is a mindset that comes when you have a basic equilibrium within yourself. When you're out of balance, all you want to do is suck. You don't have inner resources because you're so out of alignment. You don't have access to any power. You're not connected to life. You have no sense of who you are. So all you want is to suck from other people in one way or another to give yourself a sense of value. And business is a great tool to be able to do that. So if this works for you, congratulations, you do that. But it will never give you a sense of fulfillment because you're always technically stealing. Even though you may, quote unquote, be offering an amazing service, you're not. Listen, I've consumed a lot of stuff over the years. I've gone through Americana and all the self-help nonsense. And this person guarantees you, I've helped millions of people. Tony Robbins, I don't want to talk about Tony in a disrespectful way. This is going to change your life. No, it's not. What it's going to do is sell me the dream that it's going to change my life. And that's what I purchased because I'm naive and dumb. I don't know any better. No, you just follow that workshop. You're going to pay thousands of dollars. It's going to change your life instantly. No, it's not. If you have issues, for example, money, and your financial or your money blueprint is upside down, you're not going to fix it in fucking 2 days. It's a mindset, like I said. It takes a certain amount of time, a certain level of inner work. No, I don't want to do that. I want to dream now. That's the reality. So people are not going to like this because this is a fast-paced life. The point is, when you realize that this doesn't satisfy you, that whatever you're doing, your actions, your job, your career doesn't fulfill you, well, it's because it's not aligned. First of all, your job is never meant to fulfill you. It's there as an extension of yourself in order to be of service to others. What fulfills you is your connection. Who I am, my connection to life, and my job or what I do is the extension of my inner connection to life and my service. If for whatever reason I'm not meant to serve, or that outlet is cut off, I don't get depressed. It means I'm not supposed to do that. My value doesn't depend on my job. My identity doesn't depend on my job. Well, what do you see in everyday life today? People are so dependent on their titles, their status given by their jobs and whatnot. They identify to it. If somebody takes it away, if they lose their job, they're ruined. Well, what does that say? I'm like, that means your job is there to give you meaning. It's there to fulfill you and give you a sense of value and importance. Well, why don't you have that in the first place? Isn't that what service is? I have the value and I'm here to solve your problem. If nobody wants me to solve their problem, I still have that value, don't I? Now, this is going to sound foreign to people. Imagine, this is so basic, it's ridiculous. It's like, I have something of value, I have myself. And I can transform myself into a solution for this or that problem. Now, if there's nobody I can solve a problem to, I still have my value and I can still solve a problem. My value isn't dependent on you. So what does the modern world show us? It's like, well, if you remove that job from that person, they're bankrupt. In every way. Financially, emotionally, spiritually, mentally. Well, what does that say? That means they don't have actual value, and their value is determined by the job, the title, and the praise or applause that the world outside gives to them because of that. Well, I'm not saying this in a bad way. I'm like, you're fucked. You're dependent on something that is worthless. I have a fancy car, that's why people respect me. Yeah, that fancy car can disappear and will disappear about when you die. So what's that worth? Nothing. It's worth nothing. You've confused what real value with false value. And when I say that, it's kind of hard for people to grasp. Well, that's the essence of service. Your service is because you've developed your value. Let's say you're a kid. You're born in a proper environment where we teach you from the very onset the basics of life, how life operates, so the first, let's say, 18, 20 years of your life, you're building yourself. You're building your inner strength, your inner value, connecting to your nature, allowing your nature to cultivate itself, learning how to build a skill set to solve problems in your immediate community and grow in the complexity of problems you can solve with your own innate nature. And then you arrive at a certain place of maturity, like, well, okay, I know who I am, I know my value, and here's what I can provide as a service to the greater community. I have my value. Nobody can take it away. The fact that I have a nice car or don't have a nice car changes nothing for me. Well, it seems that there's like some kind of fuck going on. I'm going to go to school, get a fake ass diploma that makes me pretend that I'm actually knowledgeable, but really I'm not. And that diploma is going to allow me to get a job in some crazy, insane, psychotic corporation that doesn't really give a fuck about me or my well-being, and it's not there to help me grow as an individual, especially a sane individual. It's just there to suck from me as much as it can, and I'm there just to take the opportunity that I have to glorify myself. Well, look, just study modern corporate culture and you'll understand everything. These corporations don't care about you. They don't care about anything besides themselves. And they take advantage of everyone, and especially the people who are working within these organizations. And they will only accept a certain kind of individual in those organizations because a sane person would never put themselves there. Only a psychotic person who thinks or believes or like to pretend that they're superior to others because they have a diploma, which is between me and you more or less empty and void of actually any real meaning, would take such a job. So they bring a crazy boyfriend attracts a crazy girlfriend. The company being the girlfriend or boyfriend attracts a crazy employee, a person who's desperate to show the others that they're superior. This is the mindset. Few people want to tell you this, but I've been to university. I spent a lot of time in university. Yeah, there's a few genuine people here and there, but most people are there to prove something to other people. They want a title so that they can be better than others, make more money than others. Is the desire to serve? Well, maybe, depending if it's in the service industry, for example, in nursing or medicine or osteopathy or some kind of profession that is, by its very nature, obliging you to interact with people. People in the corporate world don't give a fuck. When you study finance, you don't give a fuck about people. You don't care. It's what can I do to take? This is the mindset. This is the modern day, everybody wants to take. All I'm trying to say, this is not a criticism to it. I don't care. The point is, if you stop and analyze it, well, what does it say? Who's the taker? The one who owns nothing. Well, what's the only thing that you can own that has value? It's yourself. You own yourself, and yourself is I don't know how to say this, and I don't want to give an analogy that bores me. Well, yourself is an individual unit in a greater ocean. You follow the ebbs and flows of nature. You are there to serve nature. You are a servant of nature, consciously or unconsciously. And that's where you get your power and your value from. Innate, inherent, actual value that grows with time, like wine becomes better with time, or whiskey doesn't get worse and less good because you're aging. You're becoming more good and more powerful as you age because you're becoming more mature and more powerful in your capacity to be of service to the ebbs and flows of the natural power. So that's where you get your real value. Then you express this in the form of a service, whatever that service is, and that service can evolve over time. My services has evolved tremendously over time, but yet there's something consistent. Well, with all due respect, ain't nobody ever told me that. I've gone to school a lot of time. Ain't nobody taught me this. I've gone to business school. I've done a lot of something. Like nobody's ever taught me that I'm here to serve people. No, the person who decides that he wants to be a police officer, is he really interested in serving and protecting? No, because there's no real community. They want to have power, and walking with that badge gives them definitely a source of power. It's artificial, but for them it's real. And they're going to walk around and bully you, and then they're going to execute stupid jobs for the state that doesn't give a fuck about you and just wants to suck from you as much as it can while it controls you and serves a greater agenda. And here you are now as a police officer pretending that you're there to serve and protect, but you're not, and you're just a pawn in a greater mechanism that is there to take advantage of people because that's how it works. Ain't nobody teaching you that I really serve and protect. Ain't nobody teaching you that your physical prowess and skill sets are there to bring something to others. No, you want to be glorified for it. Same goes for the intellectuals. They're looking for glory. They want to get laid, poor little guys. Look at me, I'm smarter than you, you're an idiot. So, anyways, I think it's pretty clear. The modern world today is diseased. It's far from nature. And everything about it, including business, is far from the natural way. That means it's an organic, natural way of expressing itself. And the people who are engaging in these activities are by default also far from the natural way. So what's the end result? Well, you don't get what you're looking for. You suffer. You cause suffering and you suffer, no matter what narrative you try to tell yourself. So if you're looking for something else, you have to go back to the roots. Well, what's service? What does life do? Life serves. And all the elements, all the cells within the organism or the body of life are in service to the whole and to each other. Well, your body could teach you that. That's a healthy body. The definition of a healthy body is that there's cohesion, coherence, integrity within all the systems that work for one intent. Well, where do we see that today? That doesn't exist. This is a foreign concept. And some people who understand this, at least philosophically, then try to apply it with their minds. So that's not true. It's not born in you. You have to put a helmet and then try to apply it. It's foreign to you, and underneath your lust is still there, and you just want to suck because you don't have resources. So, as a man listening to this, if this makes sense to you, the solution is always the same. You need to go and reclaim your inherent value. And you're not going to find this on the outside. You're going to find this on the inside by reconnecting to yourself, removing all the lies, the deception, the self-deception, all the hypocrisy that you hold on to, so that you can discover life circulating inside of you as it begins to empower you, and you start to have inherent value. And that value, unfortunately or fortunately, I'm not sure, in today's society doesn't appear. Society today only applauds the facade and the fake, the grandiose, the look at me, I'm amazing. That's what people want. That's what people have been conditioned to believe is full of value. So, as a person who's on a path of healing or seeks a greater sense of well-being in life, you go towards healing. That means somehow you forfeit that. But you find something, but it doesn't mean that, well, people are going to applaud a Drake character or Nicki Minaj or some kind of grandiose character. And these people have 1 million followers. But if you do yourself and you're humble and you achieve a certain sense of inner power and you provide an actual service to people, I'm not saying you will not have success. It's irrelevant. But you will certainly not have the level of name, fame, and glory that your average individual in today's world has or seeks or wants. You kind of also separate yourself from it. But the appeal is quite strong, isn't it? Me too, I want to show the world that I am a God. Okay, so once again, I think for those of you who watch my videos, I'm not here to judge or criticize. I'm here to create I bring discernment. Well, it's very clear there's this and there's something else that exists. And I'm showing that the lifestyle that we have been educated and have been breeded in, which is a conceited, self-centered lifestyle that is full of disease. We were born in it. What's the outcome of it? Suffering. So I'm here to help you to understand that this is suffering. It can never yield to anything but disease. No matter how much you accomplish, no matter how much you have, it's coming from its very existence is disease. You're depleted, therefore you suck. And no matter how much you suck, any person who's already consumed drugs of any kind, the more you eat sweet, the more you need sweet. So the more you suck, the more you need more. I watch a guy who's got a YouTube channel. He's got 220,000 followers, and he's complaining that he doesn't have a lot of followers. I'm like, you have 220,000 followers. That's nothing. I'm like, that's funny. So a person who has 500 followers will also be complaining that he only has 500 followers. I'm like, but so they're at the same place. What does that say? It means there's a mindset that generates a disease. And that's all I'm trying to help people to see. It's like, well, that mindset is causing suffering. If you follow it, it will just yield to more suffering. If you're intelligent or sensitive enough, then you'd be wondering, well, is there a solution? I'm like, yeah, it's a complex solution today because you have to somehow go on another path. They meet, they're parallel in a way, but you have to discover real value. And society doesn't support that, doesn't promote that, doesn't even speak about it. And you have all this camouflage, self-help bullshit that gives you the impression that which is just there to aggrandize yourself so that you can feel better than other people, pretending that you are the one that works on yourself because you are understanding things deeper because you're better. Right? We have this culture of this also. So all this has to be put aside. I'm looking for my own well-being at the end of the day. And my well-being comes from the sense that I have a sense of value within myself. And then from that place, I'm able to give something to others. Whether what I'm giving is applauded or understood or not even understood. It's not because there's a tree in the middle of the jungle that you've never heard of. They will never know. They will not fall and make a noise. Does it not have value? No, it has to be heard. Otherwise, it doesn't exist. Isn't this the modern philosophy? Well, that's a mindset which brings suffering. So I've gone through that mindset. I've explored it. I've lived it, and I said to myself, I can't keep up like this. It's exhausting. I want something else. I don't want to be dependent on the outside. I don't want my life to be in the hands of others. I don't want my value to be in the hands of others deciding yes, no, yes, no. What? Why should I give you such a power? Ain't nobody is evaluating the raccoon. Oh, bad sunset. Bad sunset. Oh, amazing breeze. Let's evaluate everything. I don't want to live like this. It only brings suffering. So that's my approach. And it's taking me some time because I was addicted to the current modern mindset of name, fame, and glory, and I want to be special. And that is deep. That is so deep. And I've worked with a lot of people who have been looking for health, which means, well, health means you need to be connected to a form of power. So those who decided that they want health have to let go of this artificial sugar and go towards the real source of power. And I've facilitated and catalyzed and participated in a lot of processes of people going there, and I've seen it. It's like, this is a deep disease. And the grasp that mindset has on people, it's like very hard to let go of. Very hard to let go of. Because you're under the impression that if you let it go, you disappear and don't exist. The irony. If I'm not celebrated, I don't exist. I'm worthless, therefore. This is what people think. I'm worthless. That's a tough place to be. No. There is something else for sure. You have value independent of anybody. There could be nobody on earth and you'll have value because you're plugged into the value system, which is nature's currency. But this doesn't make any sense to people. Some people may understand it philosophically, but the experience of it, they have no idea or know very little of it. And when you actually challenge them, because they may believe in it, oh yeah, but when you want to actually start letting go of the illusion, the facade, the panic that takes hold of them, because it's like, no, then who am I if I'm not the greatest? Who am I if I'm not celebrated? Who am I if I'm not the fulcrum of or the major point, the most important element here? Me being a team, me be of service, me not be better than somebody else. Never. Impossible. I need to show that I'm better than you. Well, where does that mindset come from? It's built in nature. No, nature has a hierarchy. I'm not saying that there's no hierarchy. And hierarchy is a capacity. I can do this, I can do this, I can do this, I can do this, and it organizes itself. Anyways, food for thought.